Setting up a meeting live. Are we live? I'm not sure. Oh my goodness, there we are. All right, it looks like we're live. I'm gonna trust that this new system is working and get rolling. So hi everybody, Andrew Lowen here from Deliverance. It has been a little while since I have been live on video for my group. And maybe after this video is done, YouTube and wherever it's shared. So I wanted to go live today to talk to you, first of all, because it's been a long time and I miss you. And I hope you miss the sound of my voice. But second of all, because I have big news for Deliverance. I know a lot of you have been waiting eagerly to hear about the publisher who's going to publish it, when it's going to launch on Kickstarter, and maybe some other things that I'll get into in my ramblings. So first of all, let me give you one bit of information that should hopefully be highly desired. Who is going to publish Deliverance? I've worked with several publishers that have that wanted to publish. We've talked a long time. We are, it wasn't in an interesting way. It wasn't exactly like I was trying to sell my game to them or that they were trying to sell themselves to me, so much as that we have great mutual respect for each other. We have worked together on projects in the past already, and is it a good fit? Is it a good situation for both of us? And so while we were working on all of the art and that kind of thing anyway, I thought might as well get into um, yeah, or might as well have these discussions. So there wasn't a super rush to have a conclusion made, because the critical path, meaning the things that need doing before we can get to Kickstarter, there are other things that we still need to do. So I didn't want to rush anybody to a decision, and I didn't want to be rushed to a decision either. I wanted to look a deal. So in the end, I decided that I will be publishing Deliverance. I will be self-publishing. I will be starting a company and doing this. I decided that for a few reasons. Um, Number one, my willingness to invest time. So I am willing to invest the time. I have staff that is going to that's able to help me. I have in my company, I run a small digital marketing agency in San Diego, and I have 2 out of 3 of my other staff members are board game fanatics and willing to help and able to help. So actually, one of our staff members has already published a game too. So that's one thing. Another is my experience that I have in the business. So to date, we have launched about 30 Kickstarter campaigns for clients that have board games. We have been successful over 90% of the time. It's like 96% of the time, I think, is our margin of success. And over 90% of the time, we're funded within the first 48 hours. So I have a lot of experience there. In addition, I have consulted for so many people, in regard to manufacturing and all sorts of the other areas that they just need to have in order before they go to Kickstarter. And I find that has been very helpful for myself, because I just wanted to have great knowledge when it came time to work with a publisher. So it turns out that I'll be the publisher. Another reason that I feel confident to publish is because I have some awesome strategic partners that can lend their expertise, including, I want to mention a couple of people by name. Eric Bitterman of Sky Kingdom Games, one of the companies that I was heavily considering publishing Deliverance. He is in my corner. Patrick Lysite of Kara Games, another awesome human being, in my corner, was seriously considering publishing Deliverance there. And so I have many others that are well seasoned in logistics and that sort of thing. So the biggest reason that I wanted to that I decided to publish. So I put together pros and cons list. I asked you guys about pros and cons of going with a publisher or publishing myself or whatever. And you all challenged me very well. Oh, my daughter is, oh, wow. Oh, no. She got a splinter, guys. She got a splinter. Maybe we go on downstairs. Mom will help you. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, say hi to everyone.
Where are they?
They're right here. They can hear you right here.
Hi.
Go on downstairs with you. Just knocked my see live videos. Cannot predict. I have too many children to predict what will happen. Hang on. Hang on, guys. I knocked my headset little cable out. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. I got it back in. I can hear myself. My headphones are on. We're having fun. So, okay, so the biggest reason that I decided to publish myself, I was just in the middle of telling you guys how you've been so helpful in your challenging me to make sure that it was the right decision. I wanted to have full control over the direction of the game, the theology presented, and I guess what kind of came down to is the mechanics. Um, so that's one reason I saw a clear advantage to publishing. So if I were to work with a publisher in any capacity, that whether there were three different options that I had, which were becoming a partner in a company, so actually taking a percentage of ownership in a company, um, or potentially licensing Deliverance as an intellectual property, similar to how somebody might license Lord of the Rings, or whatever. But Deliverance is not nearly as big as Lord of the Rings, but similar concept. So licensing or authorizing the use of the art and the world, to a company for use in tabletop games. Or the third route was a designer. There were challenges with each of these. Obviously, the designer role, if that was it, I would get a percentage of the sales, and the company that published my design would have all of the choices to do anything they wanted. Then if I were to go with the licensing route, I would have the authority to say, hey, this is not consistent with the Deliverance world or with the intellectual property. It needs to change. But then the other company would have they would be the one putting up the money for things like printing the game and fulfilling the game and other things like that. The advantage there, of course, is that they would theoretically do a lot of the stuff that happens post Kickstarter, and the downside is the what I called the filibuster. I have the ability to poo-poo an idea because it didn't fit with what the intellectual property uh, it wasn't consistent with the IP, and they had this ability to shut down a project by just simply maybe not printing it or whatever. Then of course the partner it was something I really thought a long time about, and something very interesting happened in my digital marketing agency this week. I have one client that is a partnership that it looks like they're about to dissolve. So I might have two clients that used to be partners in the near future, and no matter, and these guys started out as best friends, and they started out as great partners, but you never know what'll happen in the future. And it just the ability to be sure about who's controlling my baby, right? And so that's was a legitimate concern. So all that said, I am still very open to working with another company in the future. That includes folding my company into another. It includes licensing for distribution and other things like that. Similar in ways to what Terraforming Mars did. The Frylexis brothers, I think they're based in Sweden. who actually, some of them are members of our group, Deliverance Insiders group. They published Terraforming Mars themselves, and then Stronghold Games came to them and said, can we license this for you or from you? We want to market it to the world. And so that's something that I would be open to in the future as well. So yeah, so I guess in the end, it just came down to what I felt I could do and what I felt another company could add. For the most part, we did all of the pre-launch work, or well, most of the pre-launch work, including building a market, building interest, and so on, doing all of the art and that kind of thing. So I guess that maybe that's enough about that. I know I have a bunch of comments. Maybe actually I'll get into comments as I don't know. It's got like 17 comments here, but I can only see a few. And yes, I did pray quite a lot about this. Man, it was constant prayer, and all the time I would pray and ask God, and God would say, when God would talk, it would be about other things, and it's like, I know you want to talk to me about other things, but I just want to hear about this one thing. So I just wait to hear from God and pray a lot, and that's kind of where we ended up. So I have a couple of other big bits of news. So these are just so it's going to turn into targets. I would like to be fully transparent with you guys. I know that we have a the launch date for Kickstarter and the price of the game and other things like that. It just sounds fun to be completely transparent with you so that you can be on the train with me, and look forward to all of these things. So I'm going to give you guys a launch date. This is the dream. June 1st. June 1st is the dream. So this could obviously change. So subject to change. Right now, I have to get the review ready prototypes put together. There are a couple of art pieces that we need to finish. There are a couple of, like the miniatures. I wanted miniature sculpts. I would love to have a miniature set that was painted that we could use for images and other things like that. I think that it's going to take at least a month to finish the art pieces so that we can get the prototype printed. And a month means that it's going to be, March, let's say mid-March or early to mid-March, say like around the 9th of March, if we gave it like 3 weeks before all of the art is ready for the prototype. The rule book should be ready by then, that kind of thing. And reviewers should be able to take it and give an honest and fair review of the actual physical game. So that's really what starts my timeline. When I have those copies in hand, then it begins the theoretical 3-month timeline. So that 3-month timeline is going to be where I get the Kickstarter page ready and all of that. So right now, it doesn't look like we're going to hit that magical June 1st launch date that I gave you, but it's possible that we would shorten that 3-month into a 2.5 or into a 2-month, and just if we're able to get everything done. So the latest that I would like to launch is early July. I think that I have so we have a baby coming, which is the board game Deliverance, and I have another baby coming, which is actually my 6th child, due August 9th. And I have a feeling that I will be sharing an update on the live Kickstarter with a picture of my baby, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So either way, y'all can bank on summer is the time that we go to Kickstarter. There will be, whether we launch in June or July, we're going to we're still working full bore. There's nothing, even the money for the Kickstarter, none of it is required for us right now to finish the art and do all the things that we need to do. So we are just hustling as fast as we can. I have a bunch of people on it right now. You know, we have Dan Maynard, who's my artist. He's doing all of the art for you know, at the moment we're doing the back of the battle card. We've got the talent card back, and then the demon card back. Those three, like the demon character card. We need to do the various demons. And then I've got myself. I'm doing the at the moment I'm doing a ton of lore and story stuff. I'm doing all of the angel card backs, which Dan finished earlier. I'm coming up with not only their the inspiration, the biblical inspiration for these angels, but also my personal inspiration for why we portrayed the characters as we did, and that kind of thing. And then also a fantasy blurb about who they are. And in addition to that, kind of a little bit of a few tips on playstyle, and you know, to help players understand if they might like this character or that character, how they kind of play. So those are the things that I'm doing right now. I will just as soon as I have the angel card backs done and the demon card backs done, as far as the lore, I'll be sending those things out. You know, and then Dan needs to do a couple of other card backs and whatnot. So all of the cards are edited, and every single card in the game is solid. So we're, you know, we're ready. And by the way, you guys have play tested the snot out of this game. I mean, we had we ran a convention that had 60 players, you know, a month and a half ago, and it was awesome. Or I guess 2 months ago now. It was awesome, and you guys helped me kind of put the finishing tweaks on a few just mechanical things. The game is now solid. It is so solid. We have 9 angels that have been thoroughly play tested, that you know, where their talents and you know, the heavenly treasures and everything like that, it just feels fun and cohesive. So now the launch date, June 1st, the dream. July 6th, maybe the you know, is as late as I'm seeing it could possibly go. What I'm now for manufacturing and the actual delivery, so that you can get it into your hands. What I'm looking at right now. So my goal is, if we launch, you know, in the summer, my goal would be to get all of the files to the manufacturer so that they can print it and do what they need to do and put it on a boat before Chinese New Year. If you guys are familiar with Chinese New Year, that is February 6th through the 22nd this year. It is a time where all manufacturing, basically all work in China, completely stops. By the way, yes, we are manufacturing in China. If we wanted to hit a reasonable cost for this product, it's got to be manufactured there. And I do find it, in a way, I find it ironic that they are extremely anti-Christian, and that they are going to be printing thousands upon thousands of Bible verses. I totally hope that they strip this, that they steal this game and print it, and it sells on the streets. Have a feeling that it is, you know, hopefully it'll do some work there. I don't know. So anyway, the manufacturer. So if I can get all of the files to the manufacturer and have it printed, so if I can get all the files to the manufacturer by like November, have it printed and put on a boat in January, then we should be able to get everything delivered by March or April of next year. So it's pretty aggressive, but very much in what the realm of what's possible. I will be putting 1 year for the manufacturing and logistics and all of the delivery time, so that people receive their games within the time frame that I tell them they're going to receive them. I'm expecting things could go wrong, so just in case, just to be safe, my stated delivery date when Kickstarter rolls around is probably going to be June of 22, with the goal of delivering it in like March or April. Um, so um, let's see. So the manufacturer of the game is likely going to be Longpack. We are also talking with Gameland, and there are a couple others that are close, like kind of in the realm of feasibility. I think that they're, not only are they producing very, very good games. Longpack recently did Dwellings of Eldervale. They, you know, Gameland is doing the Isophyrian Guard, which is excellent, and a lot of personal experiences with these companies that that are excellent. I think that either of the ones I named would do well. I also am waiting on a quote from Panda Manufacturing as well, which does Scythe and all the Stonemaier games. I'm I got quotes from like 8 or 9 now, 9 separate companies that are well known for producing for doing a good job with clients, with board game clients. So if we use a company like Longpack, Gameland, or Panda, they are extremely reputable, and I'm very happy to work with them. So now the manufacturing, you should care about this because I'm about to drop another big bit of news, and that is the price of the game. I hope you guys have been thinking about this. The price of the game. I am shooting for $59 for the base game. Notice how I said base game. That means there's going to be an expansion or a deluxe kit or some kind of thing. But the base game is going to be $59. I think that this is a really important price for the actual market. And this is, I've thought through in detail how we will market this after the Kickstarter, because the Kickstarter is kind of the beginning where hopefully we get momentum and a user base that can actually play the game and recommend it and that sort of thing. But the price, I think, is going to be important. $59 is a good number that will cause people to want to jump on it, even though it maybe they're not sure or whatever. If I were to say it's 69, 79, $89, that's the number where you have to be a hardcore hobbyist and you have to research the game and know that you want it well before you spend that amount of money. So that said, in the base game, there can only be 5 angels. I can only fit 5 angels in the base game if I'm going to make it 59. So that means that either in it, and I haven't decided quite which direction I'm going to go. There are a couple of different routes for adding the other 4 angels that have been designed. Art has been finished for 3 of them. There's a 4th one that Taolu, if you guys are familiar, that does not have his art design yet, but is very well play tested. And so the 5 angels, and the reason for that is partially because of the number of cards in the base game. It currently is at 311 cards. 312 is the limit before they take out a whole nother sheet of 104 cards and charge me for it. So it just ended up working out that it's up to 4 players. There are 5 angels to choose from, and I think that's actually a fair number. There's a lot of replayability in 5 angels for Deliverance. So at the same time, if so the base game is $59. If you wanted to go all in, then I'm thinking, so there are going to be miniature sculpts for all of the angels. There are going to be the 4 additional angels. There are going to be additional map boards, additional scenarios, like kind of campaign-driven scenarios, and additional what I'm thinking are additional bosses. I don't want to spoil, but I think that it's going to be really fun. So this is going to and then some upgraded components as well. So the first thing is, as far as upgraded components, there are going to be health dials. So one of the things in Deliverance that's kind of a pain is using tokens to track health when there are like high health bosses, or maybe when your angels get, Michael the Archangel can have like 26 health depending on the items he gets. That can be a lot of tokens, right? And you have 1s and 5s, and so it's nice. It'll be nice to have a health dial for each angel player and one for the boss. If there's a like the Fallen Prince. So that's kind of the idea, and I'm thinking that's going to be probably between $30 and $40 as kind of the extra stuff, depending on what we put in it. The all in, the quote unquote all in, we're gonna it's probably gonna be like $89 or $99. So if you wanted to all in with Deliverance, it's gonna be $99. We may do something like a neoprene mat, which would be decorative and awesome for playing Deliverance. On top of that, that would be in fact, this background, the Michael the Archangel floating over the town of Fallbrook, between that and then the town kind of under attack, where it's that kind of that blue mist all around the town with the sketchy stuff going on in the town. I'm thinking about doing something like that, where this background is on the top of the neoprene mat, and the blue kind of scary town is on the bottom, and the mat would be something like 3 feet by 4 feet, something that is fairly large, that and we can all talk about this. So that might be another 15 or 20 bucks. I don't know, but all in, I'd imagine, is going to be anywhere from $89 to $119, depending on if you want all the stuff. We'll probably do add-ons for extra sets of dice in the base game. In order to be as efficient as possible, we're only going to include one set of dice, so that would be 2d6 dice. We'll probably do custom dice. I might start regular, and for a stretch goal, we'll turn them into like awesome custom dice, because that costs more. But that would be I think, a really fun thing to do. We'll also do an add-on for extra sets of dice in case somebody wants to have 2, 3, 4 sets for maybe one set per player. That would be an option. But that's kind of a creative way to keep the costs low, so that the entry point is pretty low. We're working on the campaign, so we're going to have, not only in the base game are we going to have the awesome skirmish that you're all used to, but we're going to have a campaign. The campaign is going to include something really fun, which is a component that I haven't yet told you about. It's a legacy element that you can reset, but you might not want to, because it'll have kind of permanent addition. It'll be a permanent addition to the game. There is going to be what I call the 7th chapter box. The final chapter of Deliverance is going to be locked away in a box that is sealed with 6 seals, and you are going to have to go through every mission of the campaign in order to be able to open that box. It will contain some cool stuff. I'm not sure what is a spoiler and what is not, but all of the components will be permanent additions to the game that you'll be able to use in skirmish mode and that kind of thing. So hopefully you will have fun with that. So as far as other things, what am I missing? Is there anything that I am missing? I don't think I'm missing anything. So maybe to recap, where are we? Where are my notes? So to recap, the big deals are, number one, I am publishing Deliverance. I'll tell you my company name probably later this week. Next week we'll have a logo for you to look at and give feedback on. So number one, I'm publishing. Number two, launch date, the dream is June 1st, but the plan is summer. So like might be June, might be July. The next thing is the manufacturing. So the MSRP for the base game is going to be $59. And we are, that's what we're shooting for. And then we're going to do an add-on, which will include other awesome things that are related to gameplay that would be between $30 and $40. That will include miniatures and whatnot. So if you want an extra set of minis to use, you would just, probably add another one of those things. They're going to be, I'm thinking that they'll be in separate boxes. I might make room in the first box that if you creatively, laid everything out, that all of it would fit together in one box. But I'll work with the manufacturer on that. So let's see. The next thing is, well, I guess that's it. That's it. All right, I had fun with you guys. Hope that you all enjoyed this update, and I know it's been a long time coming. So thank you guys very much. Feel free to ask questions. I will answer them in the comments below and give you more information as the days progress. I'll catch you on.